Who
basketball.
would you compare Cameron to in the NBA
Yeah,
today?
I think he's a comparison. He's a combination of Penny Hardaway
Yeah, yeah.
with Tracy McGrady's scoring ability.
So tell me a little bit of how you sort of got started at Westtown.
Yeah, my kids were students at Westtown. I think my oldest at the time was a kindergartner, and I knew I'd always wanted to coach high school basketball.
Yeah.
So I told Dan one, I went to the head coach and asked him if he needed a second volunteer assistant. He said yes, and I was assistant for 2 years. And after 2 years as an assistant, my head coach retired, and the headmaster and athletic director offered me the job at Westtown. In the city of Philadelphia, uh, when Cameron gets drafted this Thursday,
Right.
I will have had Cam, Muhammad, Daniel Ochefu in the league, and George Papagiannis was a West Ham for a
Yes,
year.
I remember. Yeah.
So we'll have had four guys in the last 6 years in the NBA. Friend Central with Emil Jefferson and
Hakeem Warwick, right?
yeah, there's someone more recent than that. Oh, of course, DeAndre Hunter, who's about to get
yeah, yeah.
right. Emil and DeAndre in the last 6 years, they'll have had two guys in the NBA, and I can't think of a Philadelphia school that has had more than one guy in the NBA in this time. So I think the Friends Schools League is really well represented in the NBA.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. So,
Yeah.
because you guys are constantly evolving each year now that you're on this national scene, what is it like developing chemistry? How do you guys develop chemistry on your roster?
Well, I think on the way in, it's really important to try to identify kids that care about the things that matter and that will put team first, that understand that every kid has a different role, and is looking to be part of a program with a lot of really good kids as opposed to the best kid and the only kid in a program. So when I'm talking with kids, the first question is, what are your academics like? Second is, I want to figure out what kind of kid you are. And then the third is, what kind of basketball player you are. You kind of get a sense, we've had a couple kids. We've had one kid average over 20 points ever.
Wow.
That's Cam. That was in a year when we really needed him to score. But, usually our best players are averaging between 14 and 16 points a game. And they fit into what we do as a team as opposed to the team fits into who they are.
Yeah. I saw your son TJ, correct? He committed
Yes.
to Penn.
Just committed to Penn yesterday, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is it like? Obviously, there are a lot of different father-son coaching, Doc Rivers, Austin. What's it like balancing both being a father and a coach all in one?
Yeah, I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
My son Quinn is also on the team this year. He was
Okay.
on the team this year as a freshman. I would say initially, I think it's really important for your kid to recognize that when you walk in the gym, he is not your son. At the same time, I'll tell you that you're going to go one way or the other. You're going to be harder on your kid or easier on your kid, and I chose to be harder on my kid. Whether it was, it wasn't a conscious choice, I can tell you.
Yeah.
And in fact, his sophomore year, I held us back because it took me too long to move him into the starting lineup. We were 9-7 with him coming off the bench, and then we were 15-5 with him.
Wow.
I think I've gotten better as being able to treat him like any other kid, and he also, I think, bore the brunt of the first year or two. Probably an excessive level of toughness for me.
Yeah. Who would you say is the most talented player you've ever coached against, or most difficult to coach against? I guess there's so many guys.
I would say there are two different answers there. The most talented player I ever coached against was Dion Waiters.
Dion Waiters?
Dion Waiters ended up being number 4 pick in the NBA draft. His senior year in high school,
Yeah.
he was literally just a man among boys. We were leading the game 17-6. And then he decided to take over, and they were leading 32-27.
Wow.
And I think he had 20 of the 26 points, and the other 3 baskets he assisted on. He was just amazing to watch. I'd say the hardest kid I actually had to coach against was Emil Jefferson at Friend Central. We had wars, and his senior year, we ended up beating them at our place for the first time in a triple overtime game.
Wow.
And beat them in the league semis. We won the league that year for the first time since 1986. They went on to win the state title, beating us in the final.
Wow.
Emil, as a competitor and a decision maker, he used his physical assets for sure, but he also used his IQ.
Yeah.
He was, a really tough kid to coach against. Plays like offensive rebounds, charges, steals, those are plays you can't coach against. You can't tell the kids, hey, this kid's going to anticipate your pass, so you really have to be careful. Or he's a great offensive rebounder.
Right.
You really have to box him out. Okay, look, that's about timing and spacing. And I think Emil was really tough to coach against for 4 years.
Yeah. How would you say Mohamed Bamba developed? Like, what were you most proud of Mo once he graduated?
First of all, as a kid, I saw Mo last week at a PSA Cardinals event in New York. I presented him an award. When I first met Mo, I thought he had a combination of intelligence and charisma that was going to allow him to make a difference in the world in whatever he pursued.
Yeah.
When he came to Westtown, he was ranked 54th in his class, and we thought he was going to be an Ivy League kid. And, after his first practice, I called his AE coach, and I said, no, he's a high major kid.
Yeah.
And after his second practice, I said, he's a one-and-done lottery pick. The reason is that Mohamed processes information and learns so quickly. So in his first practice, with all our bigs, I try to teach them to block shots and alter shots with their weak hand.
Okay.
They avoid more fouls. They increase their length. They block more shots. It usually takes a long time for a kid who's a righty to learn to block shots with his left hand.
Yeah.
In the first practice, after I showed Mo how to do it, he was doing it.
Wow.
Like, oh, wow. Like,
yeah.
This kid's insanely smart. He's going to be a long-term pro.
That's in. What about
what I'm most proud about Mohamed is the kind of kid he is. Like, he's going to make a difference
in the
for
world.
Thousands of kids over a long period of time.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I remember when you guys got Brandon Randolph from Arizona, and without knowing much, he's from New York, correct?
That's right. He's from Yonkers.
And did he have some kind of growth spurt prior to?
So he came to Westtown. So Brandon was 5'9" when he was a freshman.
Wow.
Came to Westtown. He's probably 6'4". He's probably 6'6" now. When he came to Westtown, he had one offer at Manhattan College.
Yeah.
And then, I called a bunch of coaches after a week, and I was like, look, this kid's really special.
Yeah.
And obviously by that spring, he had
30 offers.
Yeah, including Arizona, North Carolina, you name it. Really special kid, really special player. He's going through workouts now. He's going to make an NBA team.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest improvement you saw in Brandon's game?
Two things. Offensively, he's so talented. I only had to tell him two things. Oftentimes he would plan on he's a righty. He would plan on his left leg and his right leg.
Okay.
And thought he needed to plan on his left leg so he could shoot better and also push off his strong leg to get to the basket with one fewer dribble. And the second thing was hold his follow through just a little bit more. Those are really the only two changes. And then really let Brandon play freely. Like bad shot is not a phrase that our kids will hear a lot.
No.
I'd rather our kids try to stretch as opposed to stay within a box. And Brandon took full advantage of that.
Yeah.
I think also Brandon started playing a lot harder. Like the one thing that we just say at Westtown is if you're not playing hard, you're not playing defense, you just sit. We have enough good players that you're doing a disservice to yourself and your team if you don't play hard. And Brandon started playing really hard. The amazing thing about Brandon is his senior year, we won our second state title. We had Brandon, Mohamed, and Cameron, and Brandon was our team's MVP.
Yeah, no, I remember watching Brandon, and he was magnificent.
Yeah.
So with Cameron, I followed Cameron since I was in high school at Germantown Friends, and I always saw him as a point guard, which I think you saw as well.
Yeah.
How did that transition occur from him either playing small forward to then becoming this 6'7" point guard?
Yeah.
Sorts?
When he had chosen to leave the Haverford school after freshman year.
Right.
Father had coached TJ in AAU, and I talked to Bob, and I said, listen, I think you should consider Westtown if you think your son should be playing the point guard spot, because someone else is going to put him as a small forward,
right.
Stick him on the wing. He won't get as much usage, but Cameron's a great decision maker.
Oh my God!
How cute off the charts, right?
Yeah.
And he really is a pass-first player, in my opinion. So when he came, we had a kid named Jair Bolden, who was a rising senior.
GW, right?
Right now, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Transferred out. and it was an ideal situation because he got to share the ball with Jair without the pressure of being the primary ball handler. And junior and senior year, he was the primary ball handler. Right, exactly. Yeah, and he was just great. I mean, he's an amazing scorer, obviously, but an amazing passer.
How do you see Cameron transitioning at the next level in the NBA?
I think he's going to be great. I think he probably played hurt a decent amount here at Duke, and I think the defensive rules in the NBA will create so much more space that's going to make it easier for Cam to do a lot of things that he couldn't do when he was playing in one-on-two situations in college. In the NBA, there's a lot of one-on-one situations, and having watched him in practice, good luck trying to guard Cam one-on-one. Not possible.
I was going to say.
Not possible.
Who would you compare Cameron to in the NBA today?
Yeah, I think he's a comparison. He's a combination of Penny Hardaway with Tracy McGrady's scoring ability. If you put the two of them together and Cam reaches his highest level, that's who he'll be.
What about Mo?
I think Mo's Mo.
Yeah.
I think he has a chance to be as great a shot blocker and rebounder as Dwight Howard, but he's also a significantly better shooter. So when he stretches out to the 3-point line, he can make it. So I think he should be a better offensive version of Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I see that.
Which would be, one of the best players of all time. Right.
What do you see for your current Westtown team going forward?
Yeah, we're gonna have a great team this year. We return 4 starters.
Okay.
We've got really high hopes for Noah Collier and T.J. Berger, rising seniors. Frank Kepner and Jalen Worley, rising juniors. We also have a couple rising sophomores. Derek Lively is a 7-foot kid.
Wow.
Who for sure is going to the NBA. He was hurt all last year. Quinn Berger and Wade Chittick, really good player. We have a senior, Amir Britt, who will be a really good Division III player, maybe leak into Division I. And then I think we'll end up having an overseas kid join our team as well. So I think we'll be as good or better than last year. And I thought last year we had a chance to be our best team. If we won the state final last year, I think it would have been our best team given our schedule.
Wow. I wanted to bring up the final, when you guys played Ray. So what was it like going against a 5'9" guard who can really score on anybody?
Ray's impossible to guard. As soon as we got a lead, as soon as we were up, I think 4 or 6 points, we went into a junk defense on Ray, and we stayed to it the rest of the game. At one point, there was a move that Ray made. Ray pump faked his first defender, 6'4" guard who ended up being a Division III All-American, crossed out the second defender, Division I guard, and then made a floater over Mo. And I was like, okay, look, there's no answer for that. We're playing for junk, and basically everyone's trying to stop Ray.